I was pleased with that they're having a 6 a.m. Departure from Seattle, which made that I'd be earlier in Centralia and catch up with my son, and we'd go together to the farm and all that. And then, I was a happy guy. And next thing you know, I thought that the train was ran into a mine or something, an explosion. What woke me up, I was I was dark, and the noise was loud, and I was tumbling somewhere, so I thought an explosion would cause that. And when it was all over, I was totally disoriented. I had no clue. It was dark, but I could feel moisture, and so I felt around, and I found out that I felt gravel with my hands and wet, and I couldn't, I'm saying, wait a minute. And so I turned my body around, and I used my hands to move the gravel out to give me a chance to move. I tried to figure out, and I couldn't really move, and so I had to dig around more. And then I looked out, and I could see one of the wheels from the train, and I heard people yelling, calling for help, so I dug myself out, and I started crawling out, and then I could see that the secondary, the locomotive, the rear locomotive, and it was really humming. It was not like it is when you walk past it, what they would call neutral. It was, and that scared the daylights out of me, because it was above me, and there was one car still in front of it, and I felt that this could any time cause it to move forward and then come tumbling down on me. And so I managed to crawl out, and I tried to get up, and I could not stand up, so I lifted myself up a little bit to the train. I could look inside the side of the locomotive, the side of the car that I was in, and I saw one man, a young man who was sitting in front of me. He was pinned in. He said, I can't move. I need somebody to come and help me. And the woman was with her husband, and she was crying because she claimed that she had broken bones. I realized that I couldn't help them, because I realized I had tremendous amount of pain in my gut, and my whole body I was just banged up. And so I got down on all fours, and I crawled out, and I tried to crawl up the embankment and to the left, away from that engine and that big gas tank, not gas tank, diesel tank, which holds, 500 gallons of diesel. I was afraid it could potentially cause fire, and I did not want to be toast. And so, I don't know where she came from, but a woman came and sort of grabbed me and helped me up and helped me moved me up across the little gully and sat me on a tree stump. And there I stayed, and for several minutes, I'm sure. And then the phone rang, and I had my phone here in my pocket here, and it was my lady friend saying, "Hey, where are you?" So I told her that didn't know where I was for sure, but that I was in Iraq, and anyway, so she kept talking, and while I don't know for sure whether it was a fireman or a military guy, the first guy that came up to me, and talked to me, said, "Open your eyes, look at me. Can you see me?" Grab my hand, squeeze my hand with both hands, and this and that. Move. Can you move your feet? Can you get up? I said, "No, I've got tremendous pain. Show me where the pain is." And he put a triage tag on my hands and says, "Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you in a few minutes as soon as we get to other people." And so there I sat there for a few minutes, and then then a whole bunch of military guys came about, and they put me on a board, tied me down, covered me with a blanket, and then put me on a four-wheeler. I never saw the four-wheeler. I'm just saying that's what they said. You're now on a four-wheeler. He's going to ride you to the ambulance. And the guy was holding my head so that I wouldn't. And then I got on an ambulance, and the ambulance took me to St. Pete's Hospital in Olympia. And there I got treated. And in the ambulance I got treated very well. And the military, I was just so happy with the kind of treatment that I got. They were so, I mean, they did it like the book. 1, 2, 3, pick him up, and one guy held my head so that my head couldn't move while they moved me. And the ambulance guy, I was shivering. I was very cold, and it was misting. And the ambulance guy turned heat on me, made me feel comfortable. And in the hospital, they put warm blankets on me, and it was just, I mean, if I hate that this happened, but it happened in a place where help was quick. I mean, at the time I thought it took too long, but not really. And it was very fortunate that it was close to a road, as compared to you know how the road is down by the ocean. I mean by the coast, and so I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate with the help.